Hi, today I have got Stephanie from the Stories Box to talk about goal setting. So, do you want to tell people a little bit about you?
Yes, I'm Stephanie. I live in the Netherlands. I am a freelance writer, copywriter, blogger, and I have been a goal setter and a habit nerd and a sticky note lover for as long as I can remember.
Love sticky notes.
Yeah, yes, I'm really good with sticky notes and colored pens and everything.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, my favorite thing to do is to write and to read, and I love to run as well, and I do triathlons.
Wow, do you? Crikey. So, the first thing I thought we'd talk about was goals that you've already reached. So, things that you've already done that that you've planned out. So, maybe you could tell us something that you've achieved that you're pleased with.
One thing that I really wanted to do when I was growing up and I was younger was to publish a story,
Uh-huh.
and I published my first short story in a actual book that
Uh-huh.
came out and was in the shops in 2008.
Wow, that's exciting.
That
So,
was really exciting.
yeah.
And the other thing that I set myself to do last year was to run, swim, and bike no, not a complete, and a sprint triathlon.
Uh-huh.
And I did that as well.
So what did you do to make sure that you could get to that stage?
Well, for the first one last year, I did a lot of training.
Mm-hmm.
I trained with a group. We had weekly training sessions together, where we tackled different aspects of it, and we had a detailed training plan. For this one, I focused more on running, and I didn't go as well as I actually hoped it would be, the training. So, to be honest, I kind of winged it this Saturday, which is not a good thing to do.
So the book publishing one, we've actually got some people in the group who are interested in books, and we have an author. So it might be quite good to talk about how you got from wanting to write a book to how you made it happen.
When I was very young, I've always been a reader. When I was about 11, I was always telling stories in my head.
Uh-huh.
And then when I was about 11, it clicked. Well, I can actually write them down. So that was how I started, and that was always was my dream to become an author. And well, I've chose the route that you might expect. So when I finished high school, I started journalism school.
Uh-huh.
And after that, there was a school here in the Netherlands that was just for writers, and I really wanted to do it. So I tried out and I got in.
Yeah.
And it turned out that wasn't a really great school because they kept hammering on saying to me, "You're too young, you do not have life experience to be a writer." I was like,
Oh.
that's not very nice, people.
No, that's not very nice.
So, but then we had a pre-Facebook thing here called Hives, which was kind of the same thing, but a bit different. And I saw a call from someone who said, well, I want stories that you have. If you have anthologies, they're mostly about people who already are traveling, and he wanted stories that were just around the airport and in the actual plane. So I emailed him and said, well, look, I can do that for you. And he said, well, I have a few really renowned writers who are actually already doing this, but if you want to, you can have a shot. So I, with my 18-year-old, said very cocky, oh, I can do that. I just got into this school. Looking back, I was thinking, what did I do? And then I wrote the story, and I really struggled to write it, to be honest. I wrote a first draft, and it was just crap. It was just pure shit. And I was just about to give up. And then there was this friend of mine. He said, "You're not giving up. You know you can do this. You are going to sit your butt down in that chair, and you are going to do this." And I wrote a new draft version of the story completely from scratch under 2 hours. And the deadline was before Christmas, and it got back to me at the beginning of the year saying, "You're in."
Great.
And I actually beat a few renowned authors to actually get in.
Uh-huh.
And that was just like, wow. Determination is a good one, but also sometimes it's really good to not feel so sure of yourself, because a lot of my breakthroughs happened at a point where I was just thinking, there's no way I'm doing this. With the story that got published, I was thinking, there's no way I'm doing this. With the triathlon, halfway through, I just think I'm just going to drown. This is not happening. I think there's no way I can finish, and then to keep going, and then urge someone to say you can actually do that. I mean, for the book, it was a friend of mine who said you can do this. For the triathlon, I came out of the water feeling dizzy and nauseous and thinking there's no way, and then I got on the bike, and then my mother and my boyfriend were just standing cheering and clapping on the side of the road as I was trying to get on the bike, and then you don't want to lose face in front of people.
Yeah.
And it feels like giving up, and as long as you, even if you don't want to keep going, or it is hard to keep going, but you feel like if giving up feels like actual giving up and disappointing yourself, then you still have it in you to keep going. Yes, and I actually plan it in, and I make a week planning. Like I have a rough daily outline as well, when I'm going to do this, when I'm going to work on. I have some client work that's returning every month, so I actually gave them a time slot every week or every other week, depending on the client. So that when that time hits, I just know, like, okay, and now I need to do that. And I have like Fridays. I've made Fridays my business day. So on Friday I'm going to work on those pages and just really do work that helps my business forward without having to worry about that I still have to do client work.
Yeah, great. Yeah, all about planning. I love planning.
Yeah. I'm a color coder. Planning.
Oh, I love color coding.
This is on my desk.
Oh.